I believe in the power of human compassion and the capacity for that compassion to bring about change. And here's why. Last year, I chose to study abroad in India with a program titled Social Justice, Peace, and Development. During my travels, we focused on environmental studies and ecology at one point, and I learned about how climate change was affecting people in really vulnerable parts of the world in the form of making them unable to grow their crops and creating a rise in insects that made it so they weren't able to grow those crops. And that was something that I saw all over India, and I met those farmers. One experience in particular was very memorable for me. I remember walking through some millet fields in the village of Koppal, Karnataka, and we came across an elderly couple that was standing outside of their home. Luckily, we had a translator with us, so we got to engage in a conversation with them. And they shared with us that they were no longer able to make ends meet because they weren't able to grow enough millet in recent years. And they described that it was because of hotter temperatures. At that moment, I made the connection between climate change and what they're experiencing. But what happened next was really transformational for me. The family invited me and my group inside their home. Now, their home was something that you would imagine if someone told you that they were going on a mission trip to Africa or something like that. It had mud kind of walls and a thatched roof, and it was very small. It was probably the size of my 15 by 11 dorm room at the time. And I remember I stepped into the home, and it was very cool, even though it was hot outside. And there were no lights. And to the left of me, there was a bicycle that maybe they used to take their crops to the market or something like that. And about 7 steps later, I was at the end of the house, which was the kitchen, because there was a fireplace in front of me and pans that made it seem so. And that moment was so overwhelming for me, because at that moment, I realized how different our lives were and how my consumption of energy and fossil fuels and how that contributes to climate change was affecting this family that was standing right there in front of me. They weren't able to make ends meet because of my lifestyle and the lifestyle of people like me. And it doesn't take anyone special to realize that that's wrong, because what it means is that in our society today, some human beings are suffering so that other human beings can have energy. Some people, like that family, were suffering so that you and me can have energy in our everyday lives. But there are a lot of people working to change that. Around the world and in the United States, we have a movement. There are people, there are scientists and engineers and politicians and professors and lots of people that are working to promote a transition away from fossil fuels, away from such injustice, and towards a future powered by renewable energy. And in the context of Minnesota Campus Compact, we're seeing this happening with students in college campuses. There are over 400 campuses in the US right now that have campaigns to divest their institutions from fossil fuels. And my college, Gustavus Adolphus College, is one of them. And we're doing that because we believe that it is our responsibility to engage the community in conversations about climate change and about the future, and to engage people in taking action on these issues that are going to so tremendously affect our futures. So, I believe in the power of human compassion, that genuine concern for human beings and for others and their suffering that has tremendous capacity to promote change. Thank you.